we were responsible, and other promoters were responsible on Sky, who had 4 promoters at the time working with them: Matchroom, Frank Warren, Ricky Hatton, and Frank Maloney, Kelly, as we know her now. And we made a move to change the face of the sport. And what I meant by that was, we were running events that were in leisure centres in Widnes, no offence to Widnes, where you could see the basketball markings on the floor, you could see empty seats, no pizzazz, no atmosphere. And we tried to turn it around, and that was about 2 years before Froch Grove. So we were building up the momentum way before that, and I think perception is such a key. I think when you turn on the telly and you're looking at a live sport, you need to want to feel like you have to be there. And that wasn't happening in boxing. We moved to bigger arenas, we were making bigger fights. The darts is a great example as well of how an audience has changed. Back when the World Darts Championships was at the Circus Tavern, which holds 1,000 people, if you didn't have a dozen tattoos or 4 sovereign rings, you weren't allowed in. And now, you look at the profile of the audience, it's completely different. People are dressed up, not just in fancy dress. There's much more women going to the live events now. The profile of the audience has changed. And that's what we did for boxing over the last couple of years. So Froch Groves was an accumulation of that. We got quite lucky. The first fight was great. There was the controversy. We had a great partner, of course, in Wembley Stadium. And it was a punt. I remember going down there and seeing Jim Fradin and just looking at 80,000 seats and thinking, oh, and I remember phoning him up and he said, listen, I did Eubank against Watson, won. It was controversial. It was a great fight. We did it at Earls Court. Then we went to White Hart Lane. He said, we did 16,000 tickets. He said, we hoped we'd do 40. Don't go mad. Think about it. And then I think we signed the contract that night. So,
you give it a lot of thought.
Yeah. But
look at that, because that was a big gamble. I mean, I know there was talk about Nottingham Forest and various other venues of that.
Well, we came here. We came to Emirates and we looked around. This is a fantastic stadium. I just felt like, the fact of holding the event at Wembley Stadium probably gave us another 20, 30, 40% on the gate. And it was the excitement. We had a big promotional plan going up to the tickets going on sale. We made people very afraid that if they didn't get their tickets on the first day, they just weren't going to get their tickets. We sold 60,000 tickets in 50 minutes. And then we then went on and Wembley helped us to get an extra 20,000. So it was a groundbreaking event, but it was an event. It was an event. That's, it wasn't, boxing's a great sport, but it needs to be a little bit more to create that kind of hype and that kind of live event. It was a wonderful atmosphere, one we'll never forget. It felt like a pop concert. Everyone who was there had a wonderful time, and it's raised the bar.